Hey, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Kadash, Barakatham. This is a lesson. I was watching a brother's lesson, and it prompted me to. I'm looking for my phone. The brother in GMS Dallas in class, basically going over the thoughts, right hand side thoughts and left hand side thoughts, So I wanted to do a lesson on that. So once again, double honors our apostles slash elders of GMS and blessed salutations to you brothers out there teaching truth, sincerity, and once again, you few women that follow also. But this lesson here is I just want to add on to it, if the Most High deems it fit, and there's a term that also goes along with scripture, let's see here. So they got workshop, but there's a term, an idle mind is the devil's playground. All right, and I looked it up. I don't really like what they're giving me, so they're trying to give me opinion-based terms. Let's see here. See if I can find a decent. All right, so I'm gonna start off with this one, and then we'll work through it. It says, so by definition, in the attempt to quiet their minds, what Buddhists they're just questioning it. These are always trying to. It's just horrible at it. Let's see here. I think I found, hey, that's through the spirit. I believe I found a nice, really good site for things like this. There's a site called the Phrase Finder, because there's a lot of phrases and things used in society that are good for us, that are applicable to the scriptures. An idle mind. It says, in reply to an idle mind posted by Michael on October 12, 2003, says, find the origin of the idle minds, the devil's workshop. Says, so I'll start here in 1715. It says, in works of labor or of skill, I would say be busy too, for Satan finds some mischief still for idle hands to do. If the devil finds a man idle, he'll set him at work. If the devil catch a man idle, he'll set him at work. You know what I'm saying? Idle brains are the devil's workshop. The Turks have a proverb which says that the devil tempts all other men, but the idle men tempt the devil. That's pretty good. It says idle brain is a devil's workshop. So these are times that these things come up. See here, it says idle hands are the devil's tools. Idleness is the root of mischief. This maxim has been traced back to Chaucer's Tale of Melibea, first attested in the United States in collections. The proverb is found in varying forms. Satan has some mischief for idle hands to do. The devil finds work or mischief for idle hands to do. And it just goes on and on about, basically, we're going to go into the word idle. I want to go into the word idle and into the etymology. right, so I go to the adjective. There's adjectives, there's verbs. I'm gonna read the adjective and the verb. So in the verb's adjective sense, idle means void, vain, worthless, useless, uh, empty, worthless, vain, useless, mere, pure, a word of unknown origin. Subsequent developments are particular to English, not employed, not doing work, was in late the persons, meaning lazy, slothful. Uh, it also could mean foolish, delirious, wandering in the mind. In the verb sense, it says make vain or worthless, from idle adjective meaning spend or waste time, is from meaning cause to be idle in sense of run slowly, steadily, without transmitting power as a motor. You know, like a motor sits in, if you're sitting in neutral, then you're idle, or you're sitting in park with your car on, it's idle. You know what I'm saying? Idling. You know, so basically you're doing stuff, but it doesn't cause much effort. You know, such as you could say playing video games. You could sit there and binge watching something on Netflix, watching rap videos, or you know what I'm saying. Basically, you you know, I wanted to bring this up. The term that an idle mind is a devil's workshop is because if you're not occupying your mind, if you're not putting your mind to work, then you're allowing for Satan to use that time. You know, like that proverb said, the man. Let me see if I could go back and find it, because I like the Turkish one. You know, it was a real good. Let's see here. But basically, you know, on the devil tempt men, but an idle man tempt Satan or the devil. Basically, you're asking for the opportunity to be distracted. The brother brought up that you want to read, you want to go and read, but then somebody asks you to go out to drink, and at that point, you know, when the brother said that, it resonated with me. It really takes discipline, you know, and sticking to your goal. You know what I'm saying? Because Satan will tempt you to do other things. You know, you can get a phone call, you can have some things come up, but if you don't have anything to do and you're not busying yourself, then those thoughts come in. Because the scripture says what? Let go from the mortal thoughts, right? But you know, there's things that you can do to ensure that you letting go of those mortal thoughts. You know, such as busying yourselves. You know, you can wake up in the morning, you know, do a lesson, read some chapters, work on a Hebrew prayer or work on some Hebrew words, watch some videos, and then you spend time with your family. Then you got you a hobby, but it shouldn't be to the point that a lot of the bulk of your energy is going to the world, or going to just sitting there and being idle. That's when those thoughts process, and a lot of those thoughts process or thought process comes from weed smokers and shit, because they sit idle a lot. They get high, and you get induced with this drug. You know, whether have you intaking this drug, right? But it makes you idle, right? And you sit there, and then you got that the memes that's up that hits blunt, and then you come up with this philosophical statement and try to make sense of it. You know, like the word Allah, arm, leg, arm, head. That sounds like somebody that was high that came up with that, or being idle because you're not even processing the Hebrew or the Greek and things, and you just come up with where's the tribe of Dan and all these things. It comes from being idle, man. It comes from having too much time on your hands to think that stuff up, man. All you have to do is apply what the scriptures tell you. The scriptures tell you, you know what I'm saying, to keep order, you know, especially when dealing with the elders and things like that. Continue the things which thou hast learned. Examine yourself, and you can busy yourself and stay focused on the task at hand. But when you basically saying, well, what if I do this and what if I do that? You basically idle. You got time, and you shouldn't have time. And if you got time, then you need to busy yourself with something that's productive, not just always idle and chilling. Now, there's nothing wrong with chill time, but you got to know when, like the brother said, you got to know when it's a left hand thought and a right hand thought. You know what I'm saying? And you got to know where you are. When you're idle, then most likely it's going to be a left hand thought. Okay. Let's see if I got a come on, Satan. There we go. Let's see here, it's lock here. It's like I'm looking up this particular specific passage. I got it in God damn, man, Satan fucking around with the blue letter. Got it in another standard, and I don't want it in that standard. I really don't not change it back. Really, see here. Let's go back and do it that way. All right, Psalms 1:1, it says, "Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful." So this basically is telling you not to put yourself in a position of unrighteous dealings, and go not in the way that thou should fall. All right, put yourself. Don't go into no smoke out. Don't be going to clubs. There's nothing wrong with that, but that should be a minute part of your time. That shouldn't be a place of refuge to occupy your mind. You know what I'm saying? Our place of refuge should be in the scriptures. As it says in verse 2, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and his law doth he meditate day and night. So basically, don't try to find that tranquility in the club or in TV shows or video games or even in the gym, or you know what I'm saying, somewhere where your mind has the ability to wonder. That's the whole point to me putting out that tale or that statement, idle mind is the devil's workshop, is because when you're not doing anything, it allows your mind to wonder. But if you're going through Corinthians and you're going through Peter's and Revelations, you're watching videos and you're occupying your mind and keeping it that, then your mind has something to think upon, and then and focus on. Not only think upon, but focus and build. When you're looking up this definition to go to that definition, when you're going into history and you're learning, your mind really doesn't have the ability to be idle to think about, well, what if it was this and what if it was that? Which Satan does come in the midst of that, but it's a whole lot less frequent than a man that's just sitting there every day doing nothing. There should be a point where you're just sitting there, but it shouldn't be a major part of your day. You should, you got work, you got, you study, you go to sleep. When you wake up, there's a belly of things that you could be doing to occupy yourself. Even when you're amongst brethren, that'll help stop you from being idle. So I really didn't want to go too much into it. It's just that basically busy yourselves, and the Spirit had me want to go and bring this scripture up, and it's not really relative, but the Spirit just like keep saying bring it up, So I'm just gonna bring it out. In Proverbs 6:6 it says, "Go to the ant, thou sluggard." Remember, to be idle is to be lazy. That word sluggard goes back to Itazal, Itaza and La, Itazal. It says sluggish, lazy, sluggard. Procrastinate, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just when you put something forth, set something forth before you to do, you do it, and then you gotta bridle yourself. Not only bridle your tongue, but you gotta bridle yourself and be disciplined and accomplish the goals that you set before yourself. All right. So Proverbs 6:6 says, "Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provideth her meat in the summer and gather for food in the harvest." Basically occupying themselves, even though you don't have nobody over you cracking a whip. There's no apostles constantly calling you in the morning. Did you read today? Did you pray today? Did you do that? You're supposed to, go to the ant. Don't be lazy. Show initiative, right? It says, "How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? Get a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and thy want as an armed man. A naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a forward mouth." Basically, that idleness, Satan comes in and bringing forward thoughts, and that forward thoughts are have you have a forward mouth. You know what I'm saying? "He winketh with his eyes and speaketh with his feet. He teacheth with his fingers. Forwardness is in his heart. He deviseth mischief continually. He soweth discord." Right? "Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly. Suddenly shall he be broken without remedy." You know what I'm saying? So basically, I want to keep going because there's a point in here. Basically, if you're not doing anything, you're allowing Satan to come in and create this bubble of opportunity, or this characteristic about yourself, to be devising mischief and wickedness and things like that. You'll go to overthinking things. You'll go to over processing things, and you got to handle things right then and there where it's at. All right. So verse 16, it says, these six things that the Lord hate, yea, even seven are abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feel that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. My son, keep thy father's commandment and forsake not the law of thy mother. Bind them up continually upon thine heart, and tie them about thy neck. When thou goest, it shall lead thee, and when thou sleepest, it shall keep thee, and when thou awakest, it shall talk with thee. So it says what? My son, keep thy father's commandments. Basically, don't make yourself idle. There's always something to do. Forsake not the law of thy mother. So there's always something that can keep your mind active and constructive. Keep your mind constructive and always building. You know what I'm saying? Just like when you go to work for your first day at work, you're learning and you're consuming so much that you don't even notice that you went through 8 hours of work. You're like, damn, that was fast. But the longer you're there, the days get long because you're used to it. Then your mind gets to wonder. And then certain things start to irk you that normally doesn't irk you, but you was going through the same thing while you was on that first day. What was the difference? Is that your mind had a lot to work on, and it had a lot to do, so you really didn't have the free time to worry about the minute things. Same thing with this truth is, with the brothers. You're supposed to, brothers can't, other akim that you watch, and don't get to the point that you get idle or you get used to it. Always, build your mind. Always put yourself in a situation to where you're building. Instead of just watching lessons, take out a notebook, look up the precepts with the brother, pause and play. And then when you get used to that, then you add on to that and constantly add on and add on and add on. Don't just sit there and get to a place where it becomes easy and you just become idle. You know what I'm saying? And when you become idle, you sort of, oh, I don't like the way he talk, or he skipped over that precept. No, man, constantly build your mind, constantly give your mind something to focus on. If you're just watching and you get used to watching it, you could just watch it, and the next thing you know, you're like, dang, I ain't really hear half of the stuff. Because this happened to me at times, like, dang, I ain't really hear half the stuff, and I gotta rewind it. No, give yourself something, your mind something to focus on. Pull out your notebook, highlighters, highlight it. You know what I'm saying? Go look up the things that they're talking about as you're talking. Go back to it. Make it fruitful for your mind. Don't make it vain. To the point that you're just doing it just to do it. So I just wanted to put that out. Ain't too much to it. And I hope it was edifying for you, Akim. And with that being said, I want to say, call her law to you. How about Shemi Ashad, the Ansar Apostle, others, which are GMS, blessed salutations to you, brothers, that that's teaching and enduring truth, sincerity, and you few women also a sincere haba thumb unto call wa akim wa akwaf. Hey, shalom.